Awesome. All right, we are going to get started. So, welcome everyone. So if this is your very first training with Qivana, welcome to the team. I'm going to record this so that each and every one of you can watch this. With anyone new that you bring into Qivana, you'll be able to help them get started the correct way. The whole purpose of this training is to get people started right. You're very, very lucky because Christine, who's watching, and myself, when we started Qivana, we really didn't have any set training. There was no Qivana success system that I'm going to talk to you about today. There was no system to plug into, and now there is. So actually, you guys really haven't made because we didn't have that. We kind of floundered around and had to find our own way and build our businesses without really any direction. We had some mentoring and we had some great people helping us, but we kind of had to create our own trainings. The beauty is now it's streamlined and you have everything you need right in the Qivana success system. Okay, first thing is first, we're going to move quickly, and so you'll be able to watch this over and over again, but I hope you have a pen and a paper. First thing that I love that is, if you do not have this in hand, you need to get back to the person who signed you in and get what you call your next steps. Okay, this is like an 11-page document that is absolutely awesome that one of our guys created. It talks about signing in at the package, starting a list of people, being a good student, getting involved in the Qivana success system. So I'm actually going to structure this first training right on this paperwork. So if you don't have this, you need to get this. Either text me or text your sponsor or email them and we will get it to you. Okay, so I'm going to assume you've already signed in, you've gotten your kit is on its way, or you've already received your product. Now what we are going to focus in on is doing what it takes to be successful in this business. You are now your own independent business owner. You're going to get all the tax benefits, but I want you to start out with the mindset of treating this like a real business. If you treat your Qivana business like a hobby, you're going to make the money that somebody who creates a hobby does. If you treat it like a real business, you'll make good money. If you treat it like a multi-million-dollar international business, you will make a fortune. And so I have really built my business, even though I don't have a ton of time, didn't have a ton of time when I started Qivana. I really decided from day one that I was going to go all the way. I was going to go right to the top. I was going to make the big money, and no matter what the sacrifice, I was going to do what I had to do over the next 36 months to get to Crown Diamond. If that's you, understand that you're going to sacrifice a lot more than maybe someone who's making $3,000-4,000 a month, but the payout will be that you'll be able to retire with this opportunity. If you're someone who just wants to make a couple extra thousand a month, supplement your income, you can do that, and you have a lot of help and a lot of people who will help you get to that level. Okay, so let's start with the first thing. We want to build a list. And there is a great document called the Qivana List Builder. Another name for it that you might hear someone refer to it as is the Memory Jogger. Write that down. Make sure you get a copy of the Memory Jogger, or what we call the Qivana List Builder. It's 2 pages. It's a double-sided, but it's front and back. And that will help you build the biggest list of people that you know. The bigger your list, the more money you're going to make. It's that simple. Your list of people is your fuel. That's your fuel for your business. The only way your business is going to build is by recruiting people and by growing a customer base across the globe of people using our products. We want to help you build your business. So, for example, Christine, who's watching with Shannon. Christine, you're going to want to sit with Shannon and help her build the biggest list possible. Sit on the phone with her, sit on Skype, or be right in the same room with her. But jog her memory, and I'm going to give you guys a few little tips for jogging memory. I want you to think about the person who details your cars. I want you to think about the person who services your home phones when he walks in the door. The guy who's pumping your septic may be the one who goes on to be a diamond your organization. The person who does your taxes. Your kid's school bus driver, your school kid's daycare provider. We have signed in quite a few people just that I've mentioned now, Don and I know, that are in those types of positions. I'll give you a great example. A girl named Danielle, who's on my team, I call her Danielle number 2. Her fiance was on the phone with a guy the other day, about a few weeks ago, who was trying to sell them direct TV. And so I love it. Danielle's fiance said to this guy, well, I have something that might improve your life. And so he turned it right around on this direct TV guy. And this kid actually showed up at our meeting in Newington, we're at Sylvana's, Wednesday night. He is signing in at the 1,000. Not only that, he's built a huge team for DirecTV that does over 200,000 a month in income. And he said, I can do this. He goes, I get it. I see it. So he actually is going to be coming to our home tonight to get trained and to get started right. He's already built his list without me even asking him, and he's ready to rock. So that's the kind of person you want. But let's see, how did she get him into her organization? They kept their radar on. Always, I say, keep your radar on. Always be looking for somebody who's in front of you. It could be a bartender, a waitress, your personal trainer. It could be your nail lady, your hair lady. Someone you know is going to join your business and really help it to explode. So I really want to paint that picture for you, that building a list. And I don't care if you know 40 people and that's the only people you can think of. Really, truly, everyone knows several hundred people in their lifetime. It takes time to dig into your old phone books, dig up your old. You don't know. Someone on that list could go on to do really well. And Silvana came in through my friend Kathy, who I graduated with from high school 20 years ago. Hadn't talked to her in probably about 18 years and found her on Facebook. She was complaining about needing a job. I inboxed her, said, call me. I have something for you. I didn't say anything but that. Got her on the phone, invited her over, and she ended up joining the business, and she's grown a great team. That's how we do this business. We are paid for talking to lots of people. So I hope that paints a good picture. Build a very big list. Empty your phone. Empty your Rolodex. Think about people you worked with and ex-bosses who maybe were really good bosses, but at this point maybe have lost their job or need more income. Think about people at your church, people in any type of group you're involved in. Maybe you're in a gun club. Maybe you're in a sewing club. I don't know, but there are people you network with all the time naturally, and you probably haven't even thought of them. Those are the people that could join your business and do really well. Okay, we've talked about your list. Qivana Success System Training. The QSS is an absolutely extraordinary training system. We're the first company in the history of direct sales to have a unified training system. Some of you who are on right now have not even gotten on the QSS, and that is going to mean the difference between your business being huge and your business being slightly big, or maybe failing. And why do I say failing? Because if you don't plug into a system in this business, I'm 16 months into this business and I see it more now than I ever did before. You have to follow a system. Remember, someone like me came in, didn't have a system. I've always been entrepreneurial, kind of think outside of the box, don't really do well with systems. My mind is always going. And so for me, a system wasn't necessarily a need. I didn't necessarily need it out of the gate, but I certainly needed to have long-term sustainability in this business. Not everyone who comes into this business comes out of the gate quickly. If you can plug your people into a system from day one that gives them accountability and structure, then it feels like a real business. That's what I love. I wish I had the QSS 12 to 14 months ago. I would have had a bigger team by now and a stronger team. So take it from me, someone who's not had the system and now does. I see huge changes, huge increases in the growth in my business, huge, big growth in our paycheck for those who are actually using the Qivana Success System. Where are you going to find the Qivana Success System? You're going to find it in your back office, in your premium website. You're going to go in and you're going to click on QSS training, and you're going to go to the first thing. This is your homework, guys. If you haven't done it yet, I want you to go to I'm in, now what? That's a video. It's a short, brief video. That's the first thing you watch when you join Qivana. The next thing you're going to do right from there is go to the silver training. That's your first level of training. Silver is the first rank that you want to hit. Once you've signed 2 people in, you are a silver in Qivana and you've hit your first rank. Of course, we want you not to be at silver. We want you to go all the way to diamond and crown diamond and all that good stuff. But we have to start. We all start in the same position. We start down low and we have to work our way up the ranks. Okay, so go into the silver training. Take notes, because at the end there's a quiz. And if you don't fill it out properly and answer correctly, word for word, you'll actually have to take the quiz over again. Once you've passed that quiz, you are going to get access, meaning the door is going to be opened to the Qivana Go 90 Grow. It's an amazing, amazing training system that you can plug into 20 minutes a day, an hour a week, however you want to do it. I promise you, if you train in the back office and you plug in, I don't care if it's on a Saturday night at 1 in the morning because you can't sleep, hop on, do some training, watch some of the videos. The stuff in there is worth tens of thousands of dollars to your business. Someone once told me that when I joined, that there would be things that I would learn on the phone, on the training calls, or from my mentors that would be worth tens of thousands to my business. And they were right. I didn't understand it at first, but there are golden nuggets you're going to get from me on a training call, or from one of your people on your team, one of your upline, or from the Qivana Success System, that are absolutely going to help you explode your business. And it's been amazing to see it already happening for a lot of people. So your homework would be get into the I'm in now what, pass the silver, and then get right into Go 90 Grow. It's an awesome, awesome, awesome system. Very proud of it, and I see people making really great headway and really growing their business. Now write this date down, because November 17th of this coming month, November, we have our amazing Simple 7 workshop. That's going to be, there's going to be one on November 17th in Shelton that seats up to 35 people, Shelton, Connecticut. And there's going to be one in New Haven, Connecticut that's going to, I think we can seat up to 100 or 120. So I know we've already sold half of the tickets for New Haven. I'm certain half of the tickets for Shelton are already sold. It's $25 to get your workbook and take the workshop. We don't make money on these. Qivana is so awesome of a company that they don't charge you for training. This Qivana Success System is worth $400 for anyone outside of Qivana that wants to take this training. So this training that we have can actually be used at other companies, but they have to pay for it. And Qivana, our owners, paid for our training. They only charge for you to be at the place, so we can cover the cost of renting the room and the cost of the AV equipment. That's it. All of us as speakers, we're not there making a profit on anyone, and I feel very good about that. I don't want to be in a company where we keep taking money from people to go to trainings. So sign up for that as soon as possible. If you want to do lunch, there is lunch available. I believe it's like $16 or $15 a person for the buffet at the New Haven event, which is going to be awesome. Their food is really great. Or you can go out for lunch on your own if you so choose. If you go to that training, bring as much of your team as possible. I believe it starts at 9 a.m. sharp and ends at, I think, 3:30 or 4 o'clock. I will be one of the presenters there, as well as Chris Cavadon, and I believe Albert will be there as well. When I tell you the nuggets of info you're going to get that day, that success system is designed to give you the 7 criteria. The 7 segments that you're going to learn about are going to be positive mental attitude, a definite major purpose, which we're going to go over today, a written plan of action for your business. These are all things when you open up a business you have to have anyway. So we actually give this to you with Qivana's success system, and it's awesome. We're going to talk about how to retail the products. We're going to talk about how to invite, how to get people to understand that this is a business that they should join. We're going to talk about how to follow up and follow through with people, and how to be a leader. Those are the 7 categories that we're going to go over in the workshop, and it's interactive. It's fun. It's not a seminar where you're being chatted at all day. It's really interactive, and the more people you bring from your team, the better. So get the tickets as soon as you can. We're going to do another one in January, but it's important that you get your people trained right out of the gate. All right, there's some awesome team calls, weekly calls. If you haven't been on any of the calls yet, you are going to find out this company has plenty of calls. On Monday night, we have a 9 p.m. corporate call. On Tuesday night, there's calls. On Wednesday night, there's a 10 p.m. diamond call. I'm doing this all Eastern Standard Time. Thursday night, there's calls. Saturday day at 11 a.m. and noon, there are wonderful training calls. I do a Sunday night inviting call, which is my #1 call that you guys should be on. If there's no other call you get on, it's getting on the Sunday night call. And it's not because it's my call, but here's why. Because anyone who's made fortunes or done really well in a direct sales company, building their own direct sales channel, is doing it by learning how to invite properly. So I'm going to teach you a little bit of that today, but tomorrow night, which is Sunday night at 9 p.m., write this down. And someone, if you could type this into the chat box, that would be great. Maybe Christine or Christina, who's watching. You want to sign in and dial 605-477-2100. Then you're going to type in the PIN number 605-722#. Right at 5 of 9, get on. You'll hear, we always have between 100 and 150 people on the call. I always have guest speakers every Sunday night that are going to teach you how to invite properly. There is nothing else that matters in this business if you don't know why you're in the business, which we're going to go over next, and then if you don't have a list of people to talk to, and then you don't know how to invite. Those are your top 3 things I want you to be concerned with. Everything else is going to fall into place. So here we go again. You have to know why you're in the business, which is your definite major purpose. We're going to go over that and establish that now. 2, you have to have a list of people, and we'll help you make that bigger and bigger. We talked about that already. And 3, you have to know how to invite people properly. Everyone in this business in the beginning has diarrhea of the mouth, for lack of a better word, but it's the truth. The more you say to people, the less chance they'll come to a meeting. I hope that clicks. The more you say, the less you have someone coming to a meeting. You need to invite quickly, briefly, and powerfully, and let them come to the meeting because they're excited to hear what it is you have to share. The more you share, the more chances are they're going to give you objections, the more chances they're not going to show, and they'll never get a chance to see how big the Qivana opportunity is. So learning how to invite is really critical. Another thing about the inviting call before we go to definiteness of purpose. The inviting call, I also have archived calls. I think I have 14 or 15 archived calls that are an hour each. Here it is, 605-477-2199. So it's almost the same as the other number, but you're going to add the 99 at the end. Same PIN number, 605-722-pound. And then for every time you want to listen to one of the calls, start with number 1 because it goes in order. You're going to hit 1 and the pound sign to hear the first call. Then you're probably a few days later going to be ready to listen to the next one because they're an hour long, but they're amazingly chock full of great insight. And they're really going to raise your belief level. You're going to hear from great leaders who are making money. The next thing you want to do is put in 2 and the pound sign. That's going to bring you to the next call. And then 3 is the only one that doesn't exist. That's a deleted call. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up to call number 14 or 15. Get into those calls. If there's anything you do besides first going into the Qivana Success System, I also want you at least an hour a week to master inviting. All right, so I hope that makes sense. Okay, Q Info site. If you don't know what the Q Info site is, go study it. It's awesome. www.qinfosite.com. If someone could type that in for me, that would be great as well. Q Info site was designed for not only us to learn from after we're in the business, but it's designed for someone who's been to a meeting or been on a webinar or been on a 3-way call and is ready to hear more about Qivana. You never, ever, ever send someone to a website unless they've already seen the plan, meaning they've been to step 2. So let's go over that. Step 1 is you pique their interest. Step 2 is you get them to review the info by either me presenting, one of your leaders presenting, they watch a recorded webinar, they see a live webinar, somehow, some way they see the presentation that we've all seen. You have no control over whether they join or not, and that's okay. You've done your job if you've gotten them to take a look. And step 3 is collecting a decision. And if you're not ready to collect a decision alone, you get one of us on the phone and collect. Christina can't hear me. Okay. Oh. All right. Type in 712-432-6142, guys. If you could type that in, 712-432-6142.
Welcome. Please enter your conference access code followed by the pound key.
And then she's got to put in 104,557 pound.
If this is correct, 1. Call.
104,557 pound is the number for her, the PIN. Thank you. Okay. Where were we? I got thrown off a little bit, guys. Sorry. We were on Q. Oh, okay. The step 1, 2, and 3. The main thing. Write this in big letters. The main thing. That is a phrase I want you to remember. The main thing is this. Step 1, 2, and 3. That's the main thing. Pique interest. Get them to review and then collect a decision. If you do that over and over again weekly, 80% of the hours you work in Qivana, you should be piquing interest, getting people to review a step 2 presentation, and collecting a decision. The more times you do that a week, the more money you're going to make. I did it, and I broke a company record for that reason, because I got so many people looking at the presentation that naturally everybody was joining, and it was all kinds of crazy chaos, and it was awesome. So I hope that makes sense to you. Step 1, 2, and 3 is called the main thing. You're going to hear that a lot in the Qivana Success System. Today is not about overwhelming you. You are going to have such a blast in this business. You're going to have so much fun. You're going to have, you've got an extended family. You're going to learn. You're going to have support. So I don't want you to get off this webinar feeling overwhelmed. I want you to feel like you have support and you have the training and the tools you need to be successful. What I require of you, if I'm going to work with you directly, and all of us on the team require, is that you're teachable, you're enthusiastic, and you do the main thing. And if you need help doing the main thing, we will help you do the main thing. That's really all you need, to be enthusiastic, be teachable, and do the main thing. The rest will all fall into place. Learning about the products, all the extra stuff you're going to learn. This is a business where you get paid as you go. You get paid while you're learning, which is very cool. You can make thousands of dollars out of the gate if you just pick up the phone enough times a week. And the average you should be spending is 8 to 10 hours a week in this business, of which I would spend at least 6 hours a week on the phone getting people to hear that there was something big for them. All right, the line is maxed. No worries. I was just listening. I don't know. There's no one on the line, Christina. All right, anyway, next one. Okay. Oh, I have an awesome calendar for the team that you should have. It's www.my.calendars.net, my.calendars.net/QCAL1. And if you could type that in, Christine or anyone, www.my.calendars.net/QCAL1. That's where all of you can click in and see where all the trainings are, the phone calls, the meetings, the webinars. It's an awesome place for you to go, and it's live. Be checking that regularly. Okay, here's my email so that you guys have it. And if you'd like to be on my email list, you should be texting me or emailing me to let me know that you want me to add you to my email list. It's the 4-year plan at Gmail. So it's THE, the number 4, year, YEAR, plan at gmail.com. I will add you to my email if you email me. Okay, let's do your definite major purpose. This is so cool. You can go into your back office, and I want you guys to all fill out this form. It says definite major purpose. It's your goal statement. It's the first thing you should do before you build your list or right after you do. I want this to be done in the next 24 hours if you haven't. Plus, it's a lot of fun because you're going to get to look back and see what you put down and what your goals were. All right. So your definite major purpose, nobody accomplishes things without a definiteness of purpose. If you haven't read the book by Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, that is definitely something I would put on your list right away. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This whole system, Qivana Success System, is based on that. And there was a study that was done, actually not a study, they looked at all the most successful multi-million and billionaire men and women in this world and found out, Napoleon Hill found out that they all had a definiteness of purpose. They had laser-like focus on their dream, that they never stopped keeping that in their mind. And so for me, when people ask why I've been so successful, it's not because of any other reason than I have said from day one, I am doing this until I reach the top. I am going to go blood, sweat, and tears, work my fingers to the bone, even if I only had in the beginning 8 hours a week to do it. I was not going to let this opportunity pass me by. Understand, the next 3 years in Qivana will never happen again. You will never have an opportunity to go through momentum again. If you miss momentum, the only reason you're missing it is because you quit or because you're not doing the main thing. You cannot miss momentum if you're actively building your business. Each one of you, even if you only have 3 or 4 people working under you when momentum hits, you will still see an exciting thing happen underneath when momentum kicks in. But you have to actively be working the business. So each of you right now, I want you to really think about what your why is, your definite major purpose. Why are you in Qivana? What is your dream? And if someone could type that in for me, that would be great. Everyone knows our story already. You know that we were in foreclosure. You know that we lost everything. So think about what it is that you really, really want to be your goal. Christine said, I want to be Danielle. I want you to really think about that. And then tell me, what's your reason why you're in this business? What's your ultimate goal? What rank do you want to be? It all has to have a specific date attached to it. I didn't know that in the beginning. So actually, on your definite major purpose, it says what date and by when and how much. I love that. Be very specific. I wrote down, how cool is this? I wrote that by July 4th of 2011, I wanted to be a diamond. I came in April. Guess when I hit? June 6th. So I hit it a month prior. I have no idea how that happened. I thought July was not going to happen, and it happened. So, but I attached a time frame to it. So really, that is one thing you want to do, is have your achievement goals, your dates. Tell what you want to be making and by when. This is such an important step. Do not skip this. Your time commitment. How many hours a week are you going to commit? Let's talk about that now. You guys need to talk about what you're going to do and write that down right now. 8 to 10 hours, 10 to 12. And then we will help you fill in what to do during those hours. And then sign this. It's a contract for yourself, and it's something that you can look back and see if you've met your goals. So I'm going to tell you my new goal, guys, because I have to keep setting goals for myself to stay motivated as well. I set a goal to be an executive diamond by December 31st of 2012. I am working blood, sweat, and tears to get there. I keep getting close and rolling back and close and rolling back. It's not easy, but it's so much fun trying to get there. So my goal, I'm going to put it out there, is to be executive diamond before January 1st. And my second goal, monetary goal, is to be making $20,000 a month by my 2-year anniversary, which is April 19th of next year. That's no joke. That means I got to make double the money I am now by April. That's a very pressing goal, but I want you to challenge yourselves. Don't put something that's too easy, or it's not gonna. It's too attainable. Think about things you really want to do in life. Think about what it is what is your biggest dream? You should know that. And if you don't know, you need to go dream build. You need to think about the luxury car you want to buy. You got to think about the people you want to help. Maybe there's a school you want to help, fund scholarship funds, whatever your dream is. If you want to work at an animal shelter and give them enough money to build a new one, whatever it is, you better put it down in writing, because that's what's going to help you stay in this business and grow your business to the multi-million-dollar level. All right, so DMP is done. We talked about the QSS. We talked about your list of people. We talked about inviting and how you need to master the inviting. We talked about the Q calendar and getting on that calendar and making sure you know where all the local meetings are. We talked about getting to the next Simple 7 and getting as many of your team there as possible. I do live webinars, recorded webinars. If you don't have my recorded webinar, it's a good thing for you to watch it over and over again so you can get better versed at what to say and how to say it and make it your own. But that's how I learned. I watched the webinars over and over again, and finally I was able to do it myself. All right, let's talk about rejection, and then we're going to wrap it up in the next few minutes. Rejection is a very big part of this business. I want you to just say it now to yourself. I accept that I'm going to get no's. I accept that it's going to be hard sometimes. I accept that I'm not always going to sign in the people that I want to sign in. That's okay. But what happens in this business is people get really overly emotional, and I was one of them. It's funny, every time I'd call Chris Qivana and be all excited about someone new, he'd be like, yeah, that's great, I'm glad, let's see what they do. And I'd be like, why is he so not celebrating with me? Why is he a little bit like, yeah, we'll see? And now I understand, because now I'm going to do the same thing to you guys, because you never know who's going to come out of the gate, who's going to be a rock star. You think you know, and they'll surprise you every time. So I want you guys to understand that rejection is normal. Being told by your family that you're crazy and that you're in the wrong thing and it's a pyramid scheme, that's all going to come at you. But I want you to remember something. All of the people who have made fortunes and built massive direct sales teams in many other companies, including ours, are the ones who take those no's and say, okay, moving on, next. See, the more people you go through, it's a numbers game. The more people that are going to join your team. I do probably 100 to 200 three-way calls a week with my team. I want you to think about that for a minute. 100 to 200 a week, sometimes maybe a little less than 100, depending on how busy it is. But I've done several hundred in a week. And you know what? Maybe 20, 40 of them sign in every week. Think about that. So how many no's am I getting a day? How many times have I been hung up on? I don't care, because it's not for them. They're not like-minded. They don't get it. They don't see it. Move on. There's a statement in our business that I love. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. I love that. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. The day I stopped crying and whining about who was joining and who said no, it was amazing. I looked at the business like it's a sorting business, guys, and it makes sense. Here's what you're doing every day. You're sorting through all these people that you and your team are showing the plan to, and some will join and some won't. And some will become a product user and some won't. That's it. And the more you do that, the more you keep it like an assembly line, the bigger and bigger and bigger your team will become. It's really remarkable when you emotionally pull away and detach yourself from that part of the business. I want you to write that down. Danielle said, do not be emotionally attached to yeses or nos. Now, why did I say yes? Why wouldn't I want you to be excited about someone who said yes? Well, that's because you don't want to have the expectation that they're going to rock it and then be disappointed. So I had a gentleman the other day, this is a perfect example, who replied to one of my ads. I found out he was a big, huge networker. He told me he had over 100,000 people on his list from multiple countries. He's in another business right now with his wife. He wants to possibly build a team with me. I spent 4 hours over a 2-day period on the phone with him. And part of me was jumping around inside and thinking, this is it. This guy's going to explode my business. He's going to bring in thousands of people, maybe. But it's funny. I took myself down a few notches and I said, no, I'm not going to let myself get too excited about this guy. I'm not going to let myself get so excited, just like kind of when we're dating as girls, we'd be so excited about the boy, and then, there's something you find out, and then you find out he's a cheater, you find out he's a loser. It's the same thing in network marketing. It's absolutely the same thing. Keep your expectation not low, because I'm a person who believes in the glass is half full, not half empty. But don't set yourself up for disappointment either. And so I called my husband, and we were kind of celebrating because this guy said, yes, I want to join your team. And something wasn't sitting right with me, and thank God I didn't celebrate. Thank God I didn't let myself get too excited, because I'm actually finding out things that he may not be who I thought he was. He may have just been trying to get me to come to another company. And you know what? My husband looked at me and he goes, I'm so proud of you for not letting yourself get so excited. He goes, I had to do the same thing. He goes, I had to talk myself down and say, nope, when this guy becomes the real deal, it's when we see him actually producing. Don't get attached to yeses or nos. Just be thankful if someone joins your business. Plug them in like I am now to this training and get them to start doing the work. And if they're doing the work, you should be matching them step for step, helping them grow their business. But if someone drops off or someone complains or someone doesn't show up at the meetings, they're not plugging in, don't take it personally. That's the best advice I could give you in that regard, because it's so hurtful when you want people to do well and they just don't try. It's not your fault. It's not your fault that someone doesn't have drive and discipline. You can't change that. You can only help give them the tools to be successful. The rest is up to them. Debbie DeMayo signed me in, and she didn't make me successful. She gave me an opportunity to be successful. She gave me an opportunity to make money, but I did the hard work. See, and that's what I want you to know is you guys deserve the credit for being on and listening today. You deserve the credit for being actively engaged and growing your skill set. You get the credit, not me. I'm just here to teach you. And so you want to do the same thing for your team. I hope that makes sense. I hope you understand that you're going to get arrows every day at you in this business. But the more arrows you get, that means you're doing the business and that you're going through the numbers. The more arrows you take, yeses and nos, the more money you're going to make. It's just a natural thing in this business. All right, we're going to wrap it up. There's something called OATS, Objectives, Actions, Time, and Schedule. I happen to be really good at scheduling myself, but some people are not. And so for me, I don't use the sheet because I have my own calendar where I do all of this. And I spend every Sunday night writing out my goals for the week, how many people I'm talking to, where I'm going for the week, what I'm doing. In the beginning, I don't want you to get overwhelmed, but it's really cool to write it down on this sheet, and this is in your back office as well. Write down what your objectives are for the upcoming week. Is it to sign in 5 people? Well, then what are your actions? That means you're going to have to pick up the phone, 30 times to sign in 5 people, let's say. You're going to have to make 30 phone calls. You're going to have to attend maybe 2 meetings. You're going to maybe go on one of my inviting calls and maybe on the diamond call. So you're going to write that under actions. You're going to write down how many hours you're going to spend. And then you're going to put down the schedule of what day and what time and where you're going. This is a really cool sheet. And at the end of the week, you can see what you've done and how productive you've been. So this is a really cool sheet for you to use if you need it. What was my last thing? because we're running right to the, I wanted this to be 40 minutes long. QSS. Oh, convention. Convention is coming up. I have discounted tickets. If you were to sign up already, great. If you're already signed up, if you've already reserved your hotel room, great. But if you haven't, those rooms are going to be gone very, very soon. It's February 14th through the 16th in Atlanta, Georgia. I can only tell you that the people who go to convention are the ones who make big money in this industry because they attend every event and they get as many of their team there as possible. Not only are you going to meet the owners, meet the Olympians, you're going to get training like you would not believe. We are not a hype-filled company. We don't play rap music. We don't dance on stage. We don't flash checks. This convention is for you to get to masterful at your skills. It's to get your belief level in the science. You get to meet the doctors. You get to hear from the owners. You get to see our strategy. You get to see the release of new products. You get to rub elbows with leaders and other people from all over the country that are doing this business. So if there's anything I can tell you is that you have to be at that convention. It's a complete write-off. My first convention and my first regional event, I had to borrow money to get there. And as you can see now, I'm making so much money that it was worth me putting in the time. Put the time in, make the investment in your business, and it's going to pay off in dividends you couldn't believe. In order to get those rooms, you need to call the Atlanta Marriott Marquis, Atlanta, Georgia Marriott Marquis. It's on Peachtree Road or Peachtree Lane. Call and ask for group reservations. Marriott Marquis, thank you. Call and ask for the Qivana room block because that's the only way you're going to get the really cheap rate. It's only $169 a night. It's normally like $279 or something. And that's going to go very quickly. Reserve your rooms. You don't have to pay until February when you check out, but you should hold the rooms now. Another thing, there is a top recruiters dinner in Atlanta. If you sign 7 people in before January 14th or by January 14th, 100-point order and on a 100-point auto ship, you're going to be at that dinner. When I tell you you will love that dinner, you get to be with all the top recruiters in the company, meet the owners, meet the doctors, meet the Olympians. It's such an amazing black tie affair. You wear a gown. They treat you like gold. It's an amazing night. I want every one of you at that top recruiters dinner. It started September 1st, so most I know. I believe Qivana has already earned that, but you guys want to be at that dinner. And you'll have a ball. It's such a fun night. So you want to really motivate yourself by going to be a top recruiter. You can sign 7 people at the $1,000 kit. You're still going to earn it, but the minimum has to be 100-point order and 100-point auto ship in order for them to qualify as one of your 7. There's also the cruise. If you want to win the cruise for next year, you have to hit Platinum Star twice in a 4-week rolling period, 2 times, or you have to hit Diamond once. So that's another thing that you can hear from your sponsor more about. You have till next August to do it, but you're going to win a trip to Italy, France, Spain. It's going to be an amazing trip for 2, and I'm very excited for you. So there's lots there for you to grab onto, lots of bonus money, rapid rank bonuses, and the more you stay plugged in and motivated, the better you're going to do. So I just want to say thank you for watching. If there's any questions, I'll take a few questions now, and then we'll wrap it up. I'm not sure if anyone's typing, but if you are, put something up like, yes, I'm typing, so I know. All right, guys, I don't believe there's any questions, so I thank you. I'm gonna have this download tonight to my computer, and then I'm going to have Albert come and get this on his thumb drive and get this emailed out to everyone. Use this until you've got your own, or you can watch it a few times with your people as they sign in, and then eventually you can sit and do the same thing I did. You won't need a recording, but this is a great way for you to get your people to do so. So thank you so much. Welcome, Shannon, to the team. Glad to have you, and